What I do here is make a little instructional video. What I've done to save an extra trip is I've put a rag over my bucket to keep anything that I scrape or sand out of it. We're set up good there. The surface has already been cleaned with a solution, so what I want to do now is scrape off any loose. Since we're just doing the seals this year, we just want to get anything that's loose scraped off without digging it, because you can easily get into the wood. That's what we're doing. We're scraping off the loose. Not real bad, but like most windowsills are, windowsills get the most weather, and usually at the bottoms of the first window mullion do as well. We're getting all that loose crap off there. There we go. Looking good. And what you want to do after that is use some really good sandpaper. What we have here is some 80 grit sandpaper. What you want to do, the stuff that the whole windowsill, you want to get down in that old paint, and especially hit the areas where you've scraped like that. Sand that whole seal real good. Get down in there in places where you scraped. You want to sand it and hit those edges, and it breaks them down so that when you do prime and paint, they don't show as much. You want to hit all that seals real good, and the round part that shows the most. Curve that paper. Curve the paper and come down through there. There you go. That's what we're doing here. Just getting down in that old paint and breaking down these edges. Now these seals aren't too bad, so we're just going to kind of lightly hit these edges. It's usually right on the edge of the window here and here, sharp corners that tend to break down more. So we want to go ahead and get that loose off there. That's so. And then I'm going to paint this one bottom part this year. We're just kind of freshening it up. There we go. Now what I want to do is I'm going to take my duster. I want to dust all that out of there. And I'm going to dust it this way because my bucket's on this side and I don't want to rake the debris into it, even though I do have a rag on top to keep anything out. So we want to dust this off real good. Here we go. Getting it all out of here. All out. Get under there. We're just kind of doing the top so we don't have to open up the window and get underneath. It's kind of protected from the weather. Okay. Lay all that down. Okay. I'll take my rag off real careful as not to drop anything in my paint. Okay. I'm going to take my primer and I'm just going to prime all the lower that I've scraped. Since, like I said, we're just freshening it up this year. We're not painting the whole house. Coming back next year and do the rest of the window. It's always a good idea to kind of check your house out about every 3 years and not wait till things are so broken down. Okay, there we go. Like Painter Bob here. Yeah, there we go. Pull that across, and I'm staying off the edge inside. There's a black seal in there that we don't want to get paint on. Hadn't been painted, so I'm not going to paint it. Okay, run that across there. Okay, finish out this bottom of the window seal. I always try to kind of keep your strokes going in toward the wood grain. Being said this is primer, I'm not going to cake it on. You want to massage the paint into the wood. You don't want to just lay it on there and leave it. You want to really work that primer into the wood. Okay. Being careful to stay off the plastic. Okay, here we go. I'm sure this could get pretty boring to listen to, but if you needed a little instruction on how to do these things, it's not rocket science. Like anything, it's procedure. There we go. And the more you you don't want to brush your paint too thin, but when you do brush it out like that, it leaves less brush marks in it. Keep them all going in the same direction. There we go. Surface is clean, sanded. Get that in there. There we go. Freshen her all up there. Looking good. Like I said, you want to be careful to cut around the plastic window frame, which takes a little bit more care and time. Now, normally if I was painting, I wouldn't brush it out as much as I am on the primer. But just helping that primer get down into that surface where we've sanded. That sandpaper leaves a little groove, and when that paint gets down in there, it really adheres so much better. There we go. Get anything on the plastic, wipe it off before it gets dry. Here we go. Let's see if we can get a different perspective here. Go. Not looking to be perfect. Most of that surface is good. I want to stay off that bottom also. Like driving a car. Stay between the lines. And off the middle of the road. There we go. Beautiful. Yes, sir.